Hello! Welcome to Dragon Mount! Woohoo! So
Hello,
exciting.
friends.
I'm Kathy. Do we introduce? I don't know. I haven't bet
Sure.
on the. Yeah. I'm Kathy Campbell. I am the CEO of Dragon Mount, and I am happy to be here, Tom, with your okay, Brady Bunch.
A wild gnomon garden and a Rosa has appeared. Hello,
Hi,
friends.
Yay.
Who are the rest of you?
I don't know. Who are these people?
I am Aquina, or Crystal is my real name. I am staff at Dragon Mount. I'm usually kind of lurking behind the scenes.
Writing the incredible episode descriptions. So if you need to be reminded of what happened in each episode before you watch, definitely check those out.
She got to try on her producer hat during the marathon too.
Yeah.
She was pulling all the levers and pressing all the buttons and stuff. Yeah, her and Erin and Matt Stagger. I got to give a big props to Matt Stagger. Did a lot of work during that too.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
And you guys know me. So.
It's the Empress. May you live forever.
Also known as Ebony. And who are you?
I'm Tom. I do stuff. I don't like talking about me.
Well, how about you talk about what fun thing you got to do last week? Oh my gosh, it was just last week. Holy cow.
I know. So we did the fundraiser. We raised like $2,100, $2,200
Yay!
for the for people affected by the wildfires in Maui. That was fantastic.
Yes.
We gave away 50 something prizes, I want to say. Cards, pins, signed books,
bumper stickers,
all kinds of fabulous things. If you're watching and you actually won a prize, but you haven't reached out to us or haven't heard from us at all yet, like haven't gotten a reply at all yet, make sure to email the email that's coming across the bottom of the screen now, social@dragonmount.com, so that we can get your mailing address, your name, so we can send you your stuff. I took the weekend to like decompress, and I had to film a couple of more episodes for you guys for the release. So I'm going to start working on sending the prizes out this week. So you should start getting like for the bigger stuff. I think there'll be like tracking information probably. I don't know. And then like, the cards and stuff are going to go by envelope. So you'll see that.
Yeah. I'm sure. Yeah, it'll be a great surprise, Gnomon Garden. Not knowing. Yeah, thankfully Tom will know what is sent.
Yeah. Or at the very least, Erin did an amazing job of keeping a spreadsheet.
Yes. If we get really desperate, we could go back and watch all 11 hours.
Please no. I had a lot of fun. The first 6 hours went by really fast, and then like in the middle there, I got hungry, and I didn't realize like how hungry I was until you were like, "Go take a break."
Yeah. Kitty and I's job was basically to force you to take breaks because it's not healthy to be on screen that long. And listen, I know this because in a couple weeks I will be in Memphis on a 12-hour podcast-a-thon to raise money for St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital with Relay FM, which is amazing. Yeah. But it's going to be exhausting. So I'm working on my,
stamina.
Yeah.
Thank you. That is the word I was looking for. Yes.
What else is going on with you guys, Crystal?
Yeah. No, Tom, you're not done yet. That wasn't even the part that I. Yes. Gosh.
Yeah. Well, you didn't post it yet, so I
know.
I forgot.
We can still talk about it.
That's true. So I got to interview some awesome people, cast and crew from the Wheel of Time show. So I got to interview my two favorites were. Well, I don't want to say favorites because then I feel bad. All right. The ones that I was most interested for before the interview were Davina Lamont and Sharon Gillum, who were, Davina is first of all, gonna put their names in chat so you can go and search them. You need to go search for this woman on IMDb. Like, holy crap. Her resume is absolutely insane. I'm getting the correct spelling of their names right now, but like, wow. She has been on so much. Like I think the second thing that she was on was Lord of the Rings, like the Fellowship of the Ring. But she's done makeup, hair, and prosthetics on all of the Lord of the Rings movies and like 60 other movies, and she's won a lot of awards, like a lot of awards. So,
and for the record, none of these people were cast members. This is all like were active with the SAG,
yes,
like supporting SAG. So it was not cast, just crew.
Yeah, just crew that are not in SAG or WGA.
Yep.
So that's Sharon Gillam and Davina Lamont. Sharon is the costume designer. So all the costumes that we see, she is one of the designers, or I think the lead designer. They said,
yeah, she's the lead costume designer. Her very first costume that she created when she got hired was the Sean Shin costume, like the warrior, the Death Watch guards, and the regular warrior guards, and like. Can we all agree that she freaking nailed it?
Knocked it out of the park. So
absolute, good. Like, incredible. You know, we saw that little bit at the end of season 1, just that tiny little minuscule moment where you're just like, okay, they are clearly like intimidating, like that level of, okay, this is impressive. But then getting to see them walking around and, you know, murdering people, just like intense.
And every part of them says like decadence, you know,
yes.
Like they really wanted you to hate them, like right off the bat, like and I said it. I forgot where I said. I went on Rob from Malcure Talks and Dusty Wheel, Matt Hatch. They did a like a 24-hour thing, like when the episodes dropped, and at like 3:00 in the morning or 2:00 in the morning, I went on Malcure Talks for like 3.5 hours.
Sounds totally normal, totally fine.
Well, it's UK time, and he always stays up late for us. Like when he does this show for us, it's the same time for him essentially. So I wanted to return the favor. Yeah, support him and return the favor because he's always helping us out with that. But they basically, like in a movie or in a book or in anything, when you want the audience to hate a character or to hate a group, you have them kill the dog or kill an animal in some way. Yes. And I feel like are you
calling that character a dog?
He's Loyal's pet. Listen, the interaction between Loyal and Uno is that of like Chewbacca and Han Solo, and since, like, think about it like this: dogs are like don't live anywhere near as long as humans, so like we have them as pets, and if you think about it in that way, Chewbacca lives like 700 years, and Han's only going to live to like 80, so like that's his like pet dog, and it's the same thing with Loyal and Uno here.
You know, I don't disagree. Like,
hey, Sparkle's friend.
It's valid. So
and
the John Wick factor.
Oh my god!
Yeah, exactly. I almost dead ass serious. I almost stopped watching John Wick in the beginning of that movie.
Oh, yeah.
I still haven't seen it because I know what happens.
Yeah,
I'll
skip over it now.
You'll be so vindicated. You will be so vindicated.
Yeah, but still, the dog dies.
Yeah, yes, I just skip over it.
Yeah, just skip over that part. But in the last one, in 4, there's such an amazing fight scene. Like, it's an aerial. You've got just watch it.
Okay, I will watch it.
Yeah.
But yeah, just skip over that part, which is funny because there's so many humans getting shot up, and you're like, that's fine. But the dog.
Yeah, who cares? The dog is innocent.
The dog.
Just like the horses, anytime there's like a Revolutionary War show and the horses are all getting died and murdered, and I'm just like, no, the poor horses.
Getting died. Sorry.
They're acting, Kathy. They're acting.
No.
They're trained.
I know.
They're doing a great job.
Yes.
Speaking of acting though, and horses, where did we see it? Was it your interview, Kathy? One of the questions you asked, or someone asked, where it was like, sometimes when they're on the horses, they're not really on the horses. So like,
oh gosh, I don't remember when that was.
Whenever you see a shot of them on horses, where you just see like what you're looking at me right now, and they're like this, they're usually just walking, doing this.
Yep.
To save the horses.
So funny. Oh my gosh. I love the magic of film.
Yeah. And all they're missing is someone behind them with the coconuts, you know?
Yeah. No, those people are in front, obviously, to get the Foley work on the camera.
All right. So that was enough of a tangent there. The other 4 people that I interviewed were... All right, I'll do the Andres last. Marigo Kehoe and Holger. I'm not even going to try to pronounce his last name. I will post their names in chat as well. They are the Czech contingent that was there. And when I searched these guys on IMDb, a lot of them worked together on other films that were filmed in the Czech Republic, which makes sense. Just not something that you think of. Like there's like a group of filmmakers that live in this country that get tapped when they film in that country. It's just an interesting kind of thing, I think. A lot of them worked on Underworld Evolution together. So yeah, they were producers. They were both of them were interesting to talk to. Marigo was like super excited about the books. I watched a couple of her past interviews, and she talked about how Rafe talked up the books so much that she had to read them. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So you can't use that as an excuse that, the people that are creating things haven't read the books.
Yeah, no, definitely not. Especially with Rafe behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And then so they came to me in pairs. It was Holger and Marigo, Davina and Sharon, and then these 2 guys were together. I'm putting their names in chat right now. So their first name is pronounced Andre, and they're both named Andre, and then their last name is
very close.
Navaskil Nirestek.
Yeah. Like,
yep.
So I said to, first of all, I love them. Like, I loved them. They were a ton of fun. Like, they were really nice. They were funny, but they were also like, I'm trying to see if I can find a picture of them. Oh yeah, I got a picture of them. So they did a thing in Prague recently, and they took some pictures on set, and I'm going to post a picture from that in a second. There, it's coming. It says it's loading, but I don't believe it.
Loading.
And actually, Holger is also in this image. And the other 2 people, I don't know. Okay, so the Andres are on the right. They were really nice. They're very unassuming. There's 2, like, oldish men, they're, gray. They're probably in their maybe mid 50s. They were very quiet, like when I first joined. And I said, the Andres, and they smiled a little. And I said, I'm not going to make the obvious joke, but whoever put you guys together hates people with dyslexia. And they laughed. They thought that was funny. So that was fun.
Amazing.
They are... Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I know. I was going to say, Sana is the woman.
Okay.
Second from the left. She is the season 2 director.
Okay.
So
and then Holger's in the middle.
Yep, Holger's in the middle, and then it's another executive producer on the left. I can't remember his name, but I do know that his wife is an executive producer of Rings of Power.
Oh.
So the 2 of them have... I can only imagine the conversations that they have over the dinner table over who's the best. And obviously it's the Wheel of Time.
Obviously. Yeah. I mean, Amazon thought that that Rings of Power was going to outshine Wheel of Time when they posted that, they posted a Twitter poll like before it came out. It was like, what are you most excited for? The Boys, the Rings of Power, or the Wheel of Time? And Wheel of Time blew the others out of the water by like 30% of the vote.
Yep.
Because we are a strong fandom. We have trouble finding each other, but once we find each other,
we're obsessed.
We are out there. We are out there. We are committed.
Yes. So. We will do whatever it takes.
Yes, Crystal, we are statistically the best fandom.
Yes.
Oh.
Ooh.
Yes.
As per Rafe, when we interviewed him, Kathy.
Yes.
But the Andres are a production designer, so like set design and set, not just design, but actually like not building, like construction, but putting it together. Like this goes over here. I want a table there with this here, and also putting like the little details in the background to make it look alive. He was very excited to talk about that. And then the other Andre is the special effects designer. So like not visual effects, special effects. So like explosions and breaking things. So like I was like, so the person who put you guys together hates people with dyslexia, and also like wants you guys to be like mortal enemies and fight it out because like you build the sets and you destroy the sets. And they also liked that too, which was funny. They talked about how that works though, you know, like not destroying things that they don't want to destroy, and like how rigging works. And we specifically talked about in episode 2 when or episode 1, is it episode 1 when the Shanshin actually fight?
2,
yeah. Sorry, it's all
nope, absolutely.
How much went into that fight scene? So like you know, stunt choreographers, fight choreographers, the special effects, rigging, lighting, VFX people, like all kinds of stuff. It was really cool. And they gave us a couple little behind the scenes like tidbits, like, oh, this happened when they pulled Perrin off the bed and we didn't want to hurt the actor, so we had to do this. And I don't remember all the details, so I'm not going to try, but you have to listen to it when we
get it up. Yep. Yes. Because it's an audio only interview. We're working on trying to figure out how to get it best on YouTube. So I'm looking, like, I think we're going to do it basically like a podcast, but try and get some photos of who you're talking to for each section. So at least there's some like visual thing going on.
I got to see them when we were recording, but that was just for, you know, so we can talk to each other.
Yep.
And that's pretty much it, other than like I recorded like 12 videos and edited a bunch of podcasts and cut the grass in 95-degree heat.
Nice.
But I know Ebony, did you have anything going on this week?
It's football season.
That's fair. That's fair.
It's football season. School has started. Dance starts next week, and I had surgery. I'm not doing anything.
That's fair.
All the things. All the things.
Yes.
Now you have your husband has the palanquin style set up, right? That big pyramid to bring you around.
When we were watching that, I was like, so you realize you got to get some friends, right? Because you can't carry that by yourself. Like,
I think you know some football players that would probably be more than happy.
I do know some football players. You're right, and they just did like the cuts, so they've got their roster up, and we've got the practice team. So I really feel like that's how I should get to work every day. Like that's
absolutely. Look, it's all about training. Like you can go in and get them done. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, but the practice team is going to need to get that exercise.
They need a practice.
Right. So that is a good workout. I live about 15 minutes from the training center.
Perfect.
But I guess what we're here to talk about today is the episodes of the show. So, like overall general feelings, Crystal, like what did you think?
I loved it. So I know it makes a lot of people frustrated, but I'm very kumbaya about the TV show anyway. Like the fact that it's new Wheel of Time, I love it. But there were things about season 1 that just had me, you know, I didn't love, and I understood and I was ready to move on. This season has blown it out of the water. All of the things that differ from the books make so much sense to me as to why. Like I feel like I can see where everything's going. It's just fabulous. Oh yeah, let's talk spoiler level. Gnome is asking.
I put
it's up in the corner.
Yeah.
So we're not doing books 3?
Yeah, we'll stop at book 2 for now.
Okay. Good thing I definitely remember what happens in between those two.
I was going to say, I just, y'all are gonna
You
just
have to
have to
find it.
like message me and be like, "Don't say that."
Stop.
Don't
Yeah.
talk about that.
Yeah. So
Stop.
Yeah.
we'll put it this way: if we mess up and talk about a different book, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I will try. I've been getting better at it, doing like these first time reader shows and being
Yeah.
guests on like one episode of random first time reader shows. So like,
Yeah.
I've been getting better at it. What about you, Ebony? I haven't spoken to you like at all about this yet.
I know. So I agree with Crystal. In season 1, especially that last episode, I was like, I don't know how we're gonna get there. I know where we need to get, but I cannot see a path. Like I don't. But with season 2, I'm like, oh, okay, all right. I see what you're doing. My biggest complaint was watching it with Brian and having to pause it, and because he's asking, this didn't happen. And I'm like, sir, because you didn't read, because you've only done it one time. Don't ruin this for me.
Right.
So there was a lot of me pausing and explaining, and he's like, well, that's not what happened. No, it's not what happened.
Yeah.
This is what happened in the book. This is what they're doing now. That was the most frustrating thing. But I all the changes make sense. I like what they're doing. Like it is making sense now. And like season 1, like we also had no idea what to expect, right? When season 1 came out,
Yes.
like we had no idea what was going to be cut, what was going to be left in, what they were going to do, how they were going to do it. I feel like that the core of the story is still there. Like they're hitting everything that needs to get hit.
Yes.
We got 8 episodes, guys. We cannot. We don't have time for internal dialogue. We don't have time to describe everything. We need action. And to keep people who have not read the books interested, we need action. We need more dynamic interaction between characters, right?
Yes.
Because we don't have all that background. So I think they're doing a great job. I have one friend that's a big fan that I haven't talked to him yet about it. But he's also very excited about it. So tomorrow I have to text him and be like, "So what'd you think?"
This is the thing too. Like we get to like really talk about Wheel of Time again. Like for some of us,
new stuff. Yes.
Yeah. Like for all 4 of us here, at least, we've been talking about the Wheel of Time just in our personal lives for like most of us probably over or near 20 years, right?
Yeah. 20 years. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then that's just like personally, and then like a lot of us have been involved with Dragonmount for that long, Tarvalon.net, JordanCon, Theoryland, all the different websites that had these discussion boards. So like, I don't want to say we talked the Wheel of Time to death prior to the show coming out, but like
we totally did.
Yeah,
we
there
did.
were very few conversations. Go ahead, Ebony.
I was just going to say, and once the last book came out, there was only so much theorizing you could do, right? Like, at least when the books were coming out, you could still kind of say, well, I think this, but once it came out, all you could really kind of do is, well, this is what happened. I wonder why he did it that way. And then the unanswered question. Yes, Gnome and Garden. I'm still upset that I found out about JordanCon late because they were meeting and then nobody tell me. Like, like, y'all, I'm out here so desperate that my husband's like, I'm going to read these books because you seem really upset. That's the whole reason Brian read Wheel of Time, because he was like, you're so desperate to talk to somebody about it. Let me see what you're reading.
I love
fantastic.
I love the history. So Wheel of Time came out at the perfect timing for the internet.
Yes.
Because not everyone local, it was really hard to find somebody local to you that had read the Wheel of Time.
Yes.
My brother had read it. He's the one that got me into it. But that's fine. And so when I was at college, I needed to find people to talk to about it. Like, like who am I going to talk to? Nobody else knows it. Like,
And you sound crazy if it's not somebody who has read the books already when you're talking about it. You sound insane. It's too much to try to explain.
Yes.
To somebody who doesn't know what you're talking about.
No, absolutely not. I'm so thankful that the show is here now. So at least there's a basic idea of who the characters are. So like people can kind of understand it a little bit more.
Yeah.
That's fantastic, Moose. Yeah, definitely a huge green flag for reading the books. That was, I won't get into it now, but like, the way my wife and I like got together is hilarious. I was actually friends with her brother, like when we were in school, didn't know she existed, helped her move found a Wheel of Time book and a World of Warcraft box and like her boxes as I was loading them into a car and be like, whose box is this shit? And her brother be like, oh, that's my sister's stuff. I was like, what? So yeah. Anyway,
Did you propose right then?
no, she wasn't there. She was at college, and her brother was like, oh, my dad's moving to Florida. Help me move some of my sister's shit out of the house. And I was like, all right. It wasn't until like 7 years later that I met her, by the way.
Wow.
Yeah.
Anyway. It's meant to be.
Yeah. And we bonded mainly. She dated me. She said solely there was 2 reasons why why she replied to my email, because we actually met over the internet, because we grew up in the same town, went to the same school, but still met over the internet. Yeah, huge nerds. Was because we went to the same school. I was her brother's age, but the thing that was the driving factor was that we both had read Wheel of Time.
I mean, it's a good starting point. Like, because so here's the thing: commitment. You know that person has the ability to commit if they are reading Wheel of Time.
Yeah. So one of the big changes right off the bat is obviously Matt. So so far everyone seems like Dome and Garden don't. I haven't heard anything like specifically negative about Matt or Donald from really anybody yet, other than I miss Barney and Barney was great.
Yeah,
but
that's No, I'm not going to make any judgments till the end, right? Like it's fine. He seems fine. Now, to me, Barney looked ideal. Like it was a very easy headcanon for me to say, yeah, that's Matt. Yeah. But I mean, he's not the only Matt.
Yeah, I don't know. It's so hard because season 1 Matt.
Oh wait, hold on.
Yeah. Okay, see, I said this on Twitter. We know that this is a dream because there's no lace on his shirt.
That's fair.
That's how we know it's, fancy clothes, but not true. But I am obsessed with how Donal uses his hands in this show. He's always, he's playing with his bathrobe. He's doing it adds the little bit of something. I don't even know what it was, but so Barney, season 1 Barney, it's hard. Season 1 is such a difficult journey for Matt. You have his personality in the 2 rivers, but then you have all of the stuff with the dagger. But even in the first, pre-dagger stage, I didn't really get that air of mischief.
Yeah.
He didn't really seem like the type of person who would, release a badger onto the village green.
Yeah. And he was a little darker.
Yeah, which is fine. Like if Barney had continued on, would have been great. It would have been amazing to see him. But with Donal, I am just absolutely obsessed with his Matt. Obsessed.
I loved his I did the thing, where he did but at the same, it was funny, but also very calculative and strategic. He knows probably how many steps it takes for her to get to. Once he could hear it, I have 37 steps before she gets, that's what I got when I saw that.
Yeah. Well, and it helps too, because he knows how long he has to get it cleaned up if she's going to come back.
Yeah. So one of the other major changes from season 1 was the one power. Physically, the way it appears on screen. So I have a really look at that. So
good. Yeah,
we see white, yellow, green, blue, all kind of mixing together.
So it's the earth and air. It's brown.
And water.
Well, no, I think this was just earth and air.
Earth and air.
Was it just earth and
water?
Air?
Yeah, the water's pouring through. So the earth is green and the air is white. White.
Okay. I love the visual representation too. You just don't think about even how many times I read the books, I never thought about it. She made the weave and then poured the water through the weave. I would never have pictured it like that. I would have pictured like, oh, purify this water, and it would have been like, I use the weave on the cup, and then the cup, but instead,
yes, you're right. Earth and water, because the water is pulled from the air. That's why my brain did it.
She said, pull the water from the very air around you. That's what she said. But like, this is such an interesting way to do it. So much more visual, obviously, for us viewers watching it than just like the water going from dirty to clear.
Yeah. I really like how they have added the hand movements and like that act of weaving and the act of pulling the elements from the places that it needs to, which shows a little bit more of the effort that it takes to get it done. And then it also like contrasted with Egwene's like, nope, I'm not moving my hands. I don't want this to be difficult because I know what can happen if you get captured and your hands get cut off.
Yep. She wants to learn without the use of her hands. I feel like she should voice that, you know what I mean? Like talk about that, like the reasoning behind it, but
yeah, maybe.
No, I agree with what you said about pulling the threads from various places. It's not like these things just come from nowhere. It's coming from the earth. It's coming from the water and the air around you. I loved that too. I think this is just going to make so much more sense. Like that was one of my husband's questions. He's only read the first 2 books, but he's watched the series with me and he was like, how is this happening? Like, how is this magic happening? And so I think this is going to make so much sense for people who don't read the books.
Yeah.
I'm liking it better than this like weird ethereal liquid that exists and somehow can be pulled into the physical plane. Like it's like, we know Robert Jordan, when he wrote that first book and even the second book, he hadn't had everything planned out like all the way. Like that's fact. Like we know that that's a thing, especially the first book, because there's huge inconsistencies with the way the One Power works. Yeah,
so many.
So the idea that the writers and Rafe, the showrunner, and the directors and the visual effects, everybody has the full gamut of the story and the end product on how it works to be able to build off of is an interesting thing, I think, is just to see what layers they could peel back and what we could see on how everything works.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll stick with the first episode for a couple of minutes because there's a lot of fun, interesting things in this first episode. I got to go back to Alana again just for a second.
I love her.
Look at this.
I love you.
The costume, though, like I love these
the layers.
Armors. What is this armor? Is that a thing like on their ears? Is that like a
the cuffs in season 1 were extensive. There was a lot of cuffing, a lot of the earrings similar to this, but this one is more extensive. But she has a ton of piercings, and I love this. You saw it in when Moraine's in the tower. She has like the gold along the ear.
Bless you.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
She also had these bracers in the ring too, which look great.
Yeah. Just like be decked, absolutely gorgeous.
Oh yeah.
You can tell she's home. She's no longer traveling.
Yeah. She's not in her traveling jewelry, which is minimal.
Yes.
Oh God. Yeah, I know. I'm really interested to see where that goes, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Then we're in the White Tower a lot in this first episode, but we do divert away from the White Tower for a minute to see our I love this interaction that they had. Like
the scene was so good.
It was so good. I laughed. Are you taking the piss? I was laughing. I had to pause it because I was laughing.
To see Perrin be lighthearted for even a little bit was awesome because that's so different from what we've seen from him so far.
Yeah.
Yeah, when he smiles, it just feels so wonderful. Like I'm so happy.
I miss the painted ears. I got to go back and look at that.
Yeah, I'm looking up pictures right now.
Yeah, so they talked to, that's what I meant to do. I meant to go grab pictures from, I could just do that right now while we're talking. I want to grab pictures from season 1 when Maureen is channeling, also talking about how they pull it. Noman Garden reminded me when he said how they talk about pulling stuff during winter night out of the areas around them. And they show it coming in. But like just the difference between when Maureen was channeling in season 1, like big, huge channeling, to just that little freaking Brita water filter spell. The difference is huge, like enormously huge in the coloring and the texture of the visual effects. It's so good.
So good.
Yeah, here we go. I'm going to grab this picture in a second. Let's see. What else do we got? I pulled a lot of stills. Oh, wait. Here we go. I'm going to grab this picture real quick. I actually just played the episode, and I'm just going to pause it. Okay, that's good. And then I'll post this. So, like, here, like, I would imagine she's like weaving a lot of different things because and it should be popping up in a second, like she does a lot with this weave, and you can see her, like, as she pulls threads, they're coming out of the ground, they're coming out of the air, they're coming out of the forest, so like, but it's all white. Everything is white. All the she's throwing actual rocks out of the inn. She's pulling the stones of the inn and throwing them. So like, but it's all white. It's all clear, white, gray, whatever you want to call it. So obviously, that's probably due to budget, but just to see that increase is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I like that it's subtle too. Like it's not this, glaring green or bright red. The colors are still very subtle.
Yeah, it doesn't look like we're going in the red light district in Amsterdam or something.
Yes.
Then what do we go to? Oh, all right. I have these in order. Nice. So then we go to the Aes Sedai like powwow scene, and there's a lot of when they're talking about Egwene and Nynaeve, and they want to put Nynaeve through the arches.
Yeah.
And we meet Sherry Sedai.
Oh
yes.
And Joya Bayar.
Yes, I love her look.
Yeah, she looks really cool, and like just the stark differences in the Aes Sedai's clothing, because they're from all over the world, but also all over time when you think about it. So like,
right, because they live to be so old. Like some of them,
look how old Sheriam is.
Yep.
Right. She's got white hair. So I have this theory that when you see people who are wearing styles from like decades ago, that's the last time they felt really good about how they look. So they keep wearing it. Like I think we're seeing the same thing from the Aes Sedai, right? Like this is when they felt that they were at their prime. So that's what they're wearing.
Or, it's also probably like their country's clothing.
Garb.
Like that's
Yeah, and also so Moose, Eagle Eye Moose over there, different animals combinations. We're not making Trollocs here, Tom. All right. Yes, we did spot that, and I pulled a couple of images of that. So I don't know. Like it looks so much like her, and I'm not sure.
No, but there are people that are saying it's not. I think it is.
I think it is too.
It is. I think it is too.
Yeah.
This is the best I can get of her, by the way.
Yeah.
I mean, it does really look like her. But then I'm sure the people that saying it's not her is like they had her locked up, but that doesn't mean that they didn't let her out.
Right.
But they didn't really have her knocked up.
Knocked out?
Right. Well, no, she wasn't knocked up at all. That hasn't happened yet.
Did I say knocked?
Yes.
You said knocked up.
I didn't have her locked up. My bad.
But that's right. Like we learned that later. So
but we learned that later. That's what I'm saying. So like, like she wasn't really being held captive. So Leandrin could be using her here. And this is a great time to use her because you have like, what is it, 7 Aes Sedai at least sitting in that courtyard?
Just hanging out.
Yep.
Well, and there were a couple more on the sides and then they all leave.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, and with Joy,
her job in the tower.
Oh no, wait, never mind.
Yeah.
I can't. I don't want to book spoil.
No.
See?
I just remembered.
Yeah, good job. But yeah, I love the casting. Shariam is perfect.
Yeah.
And her moment with Elaine was just phenomenal.
The PTA meetings.
Really. I like that.
I wonder what Parents' Day looks like at the White Tower.
All PTA meetings are like that. Trust me, I've been to many in my day.
True.
There's scheming, there's cliques, there's
my
power
gosh,
struggles.
Awful.
At least
the Aes Sedai PTA meeting had a little bit better stakes as opposed to who gets to bring the orange slices to the meeting.
Yes.
The parent teacher conferences are like the parents are in their 80s and their daughter still looks like she's 20. As always, the White Tower is beautiful. Like, there's so much architecture in the White Tower.
Gorgeous.
Just the random rooms and corridors that they walk down.
Mm-hmm.
But speaking of random corridors, when we wander into a random room, we find Elaine.
Yay!
Oh my gosh, so good. Kira is perfect, and I loved. You see, like, her maids, like the servants that are setting it up, you see them and you're immediately like, these people are rich. Like, there is like an amazing like amount of wealth in this, and these people that are coming, obviously this is important.
Yeah. Whatchamacall, I was a little worried that like right off the bat that maybe they were going to make her like pompous rich girl type thing.
Oh yeah. I'm so glad they did. This was perfect.
Yeah, it was when she was making her room all decadent, and then like they when she went into Egwene's room and she said they didn't clear out the rubbish from your room
right
either.
Oh my gosh,
you just moved in.
Yeah,
she genuinely like looked like she was like, oh shit, that was probably hurtful, I'm sorry.
Yeah, she has that social awareness that obviously as, a daughter heir you'd have. But on top of that, Egwene's like micro expressions that are just like, what you doing? Hi, Steven.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, speaking of fun people, it's Hopper.
Oh, hi, Hopper. I have a present for you for Jordan Con.
Uh-oh.
Is this going to be something I want to bid on? Is this
probably?
Is that what that is? Oh my goodness.
Oh, that's exciting. That's exciting. Oh man, stay tuned for that, I guess. Oh, God, I don't even know what it is. Now I want to know what it is.
Right? Like.
Yeah, I haven't. Yes, you know what it is, but I haven't received the thing to submit, the thingy. So if I could get that, just a reminder, Crossing the streams, though. Back to the goodies.
I'm so sorry. Jeff, we're books 1 and 2. It's in the top corner there, and all of season 1 and episodes 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, we're talking first 3 episodes, so obviously those. Yeah. Where were we? All right, so Sierra, Elaine, fantastic. Anyone else notice that she never mentioned her brothers were also at the tower?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so here's my thought. Here is my thought for all of that. I don't think the brothers are there yet. Okay. I think we are going to Camelin. That's when we're going to get Morpheus. That's when we're going to get Elida. And that's when we're going to get the brothers.
So, Open Moose, we are streaming actively to Twitch, to YouTube, and to Facebook. So there's chat going on everywhere. And thankfully I can see the chat coming in from everyone. But yes, thank you for following us on Twitch. Today we're not going to do the watch party. For all our other episodes, we will do the watch party. We're not going to watch 3 episodes right now.
Together.
Yeah, our regular Mondays are an hour to an hour and a half tops. We're not doing another 3 or 4 hour stream tonight.
We saw PTSD from 2 weeks ago.
A little bit.
And also, I'm old. I have to go to bed soon.
Also that.
Yeah.
I may be on the
cannot.
West Coast, but I'm already, look, it's 6:45 for me. I'm ready for bed.
Speaking of though,
You should have had dinner and getting ready to go to bed. Yeah.
Right?
make sure to if you're not following us on Twitch already, make sure to go follow us on Twitch. We are DragonMount.com on both Twitch and YouTube. Follow, like, share, comment. Let us know what you think of our current stuff, and if you have any, hey, I would like to hear you guys talk about this. Let us know, and we'll go into it. We also do some video gaming over on Twitch, which we're going to be stepping up soon, hopefully. Yeah.
You can also...
Whoa, Arosa, settle down.
Whoa.
Settle down.
Wait, Tom. We have 2 years to recover.
Yeah.
But then we have to do both seasons together, right? We have to do season 1.
Yeah,
and
you
season
would.
2.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
24 hours.
What have we done?
We need
I
more
have so
people.
many regrets.
Yeah. You know what I don't have regrets about? Being so excited for another new character that they introduced in this episode.
Yes.
Now,
Oh my god. His accent was flawless. Exactly. Like, I could not have said, I want Bail Doman to sound like he stepped off the set of Outlander in Scotland, and yet he did, and it was perfect, and I loved it. Absolutely loved it.
Yeah, I love his costume too. The costumes, like, just real quick, like, just look at his costume. So again, Sharon, amazing, but like his
so
coat, Joya's dress, Alana's dress, Sheriam's dress. Who else do I have here? Then we got Perrin's vest. I absolutely love.
Yeah, so good.
the level of detail.
And
Yeah.
they're so different though. They're so different. Like, there's
Yes.
Yeah, even just this picture, I'm pointing to my screen, like you can see where my hand is pointing.
I do it all the time, Kathy. I do it all the time.
But you can see the Shinarian soldiers behind, and each of them, I mean, obviously, Masema has to show off his killer guns.
Yeah.
But everyone else it's all a little bit different, even though it's, a uniform.
A uniform.
Yeah.
But, I mean, for that time, they're not being mass produced, right? They should all be a little bit different.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they're also from different countries. They're different, levels of wealth. They have different personalities. They wear different clothes. Like, it's just, it's cool. Like, it's cool seeing that. Even in the Shinarans, like, they're vastly different. The only ones that are similar are like the rank and file guys, like those two guys next to Hatsima and Uno there. They're wearing similar.
Even then, it looks like the little neck piece is a little bit different.
Yeah.
Their boots and their little pant, like the little, I don't know.
It feels so organic. It feels so real.
Yes.
Like that's real life. It's so good.
Yeah.
Sharon did an amazing job with these costumes. Just love it.
Sharon's incredible.
So now, is it just? No, I was just gonna say, to me, Bale looks like he could be Jack Black's cousin, like around the eyes.
I can see that. Yeah. I can see
the nose up.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah. And it was confusing for me, but
whatchamacall, he reminds me of that guy, what's his name? Shit. No, wait, I have I think I saved a picture of him. Oh, I did. Hold on a second. Right here. Let me upload it. Why doesn't it ever want to just do it instantaneously? Like, it says that it does. Upload pictures instantly to your stream, and it lies to me every time. He looks like Gibbs from Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh yes. Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah. I feel like we could have just been like, and here's Vile Doman, and no one would know the difference.
Amazing.
Yeah, we would have been fine.
So good.
I love that he dropped a doobie, one doobie.
Yep.
I doobie. He he didn't. It wasn't thick. Like, it wasn't like unintelligible. Like, I feel like
just right.
Yeah, it was fun. And then obviously he was trying to hawk Quendiar to Moraine, which looks pretty cool. Yeah, the sundial, and there you go, and that's what that is. That is the piece of the actually Nomen Garden. It was a moon dial, which is pertinent because it has to do with Lanfear, like the Dark Prophecy was written on it, probably associated with Lanfear somehow. But yeah, interesting, definitely interesting.
Yeah, and I think what this means is that.
Speaking of our girl.
Hey,
yeah,
I love the delicate lace work, and then the thing on top of it, the little whatever, this delicate balance of kind of Japanese influences with like French Versailles era. So pretty.
What's that, like 17th century France?
18th century.
18, okay.
Because it was after 1776. That's how I remember.
Fair enough. That's one thing that Sharon talked about a bunch was marrying, and also Davina. They kind of both weighed in on that. Marrying together the costuming and the hair and the makeup and the accessories for Japanese traditional, like feudal Japanese culture and 16th whatever century France. So like you could see some of it's like the hair and the dress is French. Some of it, the hair and the costume, kimono, whatever they're wearing, is Japanese. But then sometimes it's like hair Japanese, clothes French, and vice versa. And then sometimes a mixture of them, and it was really cool.
Yeah, the same thing with the Shanshan are Chinese, Imperial Chinese, Imperial Chinese, and Mesoamerican, and that combination is just. But we'll get to Shanshan. We're not there yet.
Yeah, we're not at the Shanshan yet. But and we're gonna save the heartbreak for last, I guess. So the rest of that first episode, there's a lot of stuff with Moraine and Lan, and we learn of Veren's sister Adelaise.
Yeah, and Tomas.
Yes. So Crystal, what did you think about this? So like a lot of us had I'm going to say unanimously, we people thought in one way or another they were going to combine or cut Adelaise and Vandine and Veren and put them together in some way. And I don't think I saw anybody say that like this combination.
Yeah, I didn't.
What did you guys think of it? And chat too. Let us know as well.
No, I mean, I didn't see it coming in this way, but I love it, and it makes so much sense to me. It was a really easy storyline to kind of weave together.
Yeah. Especially because almost nobody could say, like, what did Vandine do? Anyone?
Not much.
Not a whole lot. And so, like, yes, there are minor plot lines and storylines that will be changed, but it's gonna be changed anyways. We might as well have
time for minor.
Yeah, we ain't got time for that. Let's just give me two brown sisters. Give me two brown sisters and a warder hanging out in a villa. Yep. I want to go there and recover and heal, but I need somebody else to bring me my water, please.
Yeah, and it's interesting because I think Adelaise was the brown and Vandine was the green.
Yes.
In the book, so it's interesting that they kind of flip-flopped them.
I can confirm they're both browns.
Are you sure? In the book?
No. Oh, no. In the show.
In the show.
Oh, okay. They are both browns.
Yeah. No.
I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure.
I know. I wasn't either.
She was giving green vibes. She was definitely.
But let's be honest.
Everyone's
gonna enjoy. Yeah. Everyone's gonna enjoy.
It was
Lan.
Yeah. Their interactions were. Like Adelaise's interactions with Lan, like basically just fawning over him, and their interactions together as sisters, like were just hilarious.
Yeah.
What did I say during the stream? That Annalise, Varen, and Maureen felt like the Golden Girls of the Wheel of Time.
Yes.
I would totally watch that. I would just watch the three of them living in that house, like Maureen and Lan having the big brother little sister relationship, and then like the trying to fuck him the whole time, and Varen just sitting in the corner like B. Arthur, just being like, "Oh God, these two."
All right, Nomen Garden, we can't answer that because that's in a future. That's a future
Yes,
book.
that's not book 1 or 2. Nomen Garden.
Yeah, that's not book 1 or 2. No,
but also yes.
And then let's see. So I think that's most of episode 1, other than the big fight at the end. And I'm not sure how dark this is. I tried to brighten it up. This was as bright as I can get it.
But you were right, Tom. You were right about it being a fire sword, because we talked about this before. And we were like, I'm not sure. Did somebody weave that? So you were, and I said that to Brian. I was like, Tom was right.
I mean, unless the only thought that I had, because we kind of saw the dude and he had long gray hair before we knew it was Thomas. I was like, the only thing it could possibly be would have been like a flashback of another male channeler fighting with the one power, but like this is so much cooler. Like it gives me vibes like a D&D group. Like, you know, you have a combat sorcerer like Maureen who fights in the thick of things with her warder, and then you have Varen who's more of like she buffed her warder with an elemental weapon and let him go and kill things. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I love this throughout this episode.
It does look like Italy. It really does look like Italy.
Yes, totally Italy. I'm sure this was Italy. But the exhaustion that Lan had, you saw the wear and tear that he had in doing his morning exercises and the fighting. You can tell that this bond is not there. The magic of a warder bond is why it took so much issue for Lan to do it. That's why he doesn't have the energy. That's why he didn't have the ability to sense where they were. So he had.
It seemed like he was just a step behind the whole time.
Yeah.
I would say that Lan is definitely not the best sword master in the world. Like that's never said in the books. He is a great blade master, but he's not the greatest.
He's a blade master. Yeah.
And Maureen being able to stab a fade makes like why would that be? Why would that be bad? Yeah.
She played him. She played the fade. She used her brain to know when he would show up. It's just like any time in any sort of, thing where the little kid is able to stab the bad guy because they're short or whatever.
Having her be helpless because she can't channel the one power would have been bad for that character. Like I can see doing it with some of the Aes Sedai, like some of the Aes Sedai being fully dependent on the one power, but Moiraine has a lot more determination than most Aes Sedai. Than most people.
Yes, and I can't imagine in all her years traveling with Lan that Lan didn't teach her how to protect her.
Right? I'm sure she knew.
If Maureen's anything, she's a pragmatist. She would be like, sometimes I might not be able to channel. Let me learn how to stab a motherfucker in the throat.
Yeah, and as we learn later on, she grew up in an environment where maybe it's good to be able to get an assassin off you. Yeah. Right? So
but back to why Lan was having trouble. He doesn't have his warder powers, which then goes back to the is she stilled or is she shielded? So chat, I want you guys to let me know what you guys think. Is she stilled or shielded? I have been waffling
every single time. I can't decide.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I keep going back and forth. Every time I think I know, a new bit of information comes out, and I'm like...
But I feel like she lied at one point. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Crystal.
No, I was just going to say, it was the look of it for me when he did it that made me think it was a shield. Like, the way it sunk into her. It didn't have that feeling of being ripped away. Like it felt. That's why I hold on to that. But I have gone back and forth.
But also, we haven't seen. I mean, obviously, we do see the shielding from Leandrin to Nynaeve, but we hadn't seen the male to female like combination. So we saw females severing a male channeler.
Yeah.
It's probably going to look different. It's probably going to be different. Like and so my thought, I know a lot of you are like, oh my gosh, she's totally shielded. And here's my thought on that. Our hearts want it to be shielded so badly that it makes me wonder if it's not.
Yeah.
But
that's
the
how
way
I feel
that
too.
the things that she was saying to Lan at the end, I feel like she was lying. I feel like she was not telling the truth.
No. So you know when she says we were never equals, I think because she thinks he's better than her. Like they were never equals because he was above her. I think 100%.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
I said I manipulation, baby.
Yep.
But so my husband Brian brought up the point that we know from the books throughout the books, where does she really use that magic throughout the entire series? Like, could it be that she is cut off and she's still in the series? She could still do things.
Yeah. So I don't think she. This.
Are we clear that she can't feel it?
Well, I
don't know if she could feel it, but we do know that she saw Varen channel.
Yeah.
Do we?
She saw the weave start.
Do we know that she?
Do we?
Well, I mean, she looked right at it.
But it almost looked like she was doing, like she was trying to do it. It almost looked like a little spark came from her,
and that's why she was looking.
We don't know.
I think she followed it though. Like when it, I'm gonna go back and watch the scene again right now. But I'm pretty sure
it was all very iffy. It was very iffy, that part.
But this is not to get off topic, but this is why I love this show. Like we're having this discussion right now, and we don't know. Like a lot of us are really sure, but they go the way, like the water bond. It's like the way Lan describes it. It seems like it's broken. He doesn't have his powers. He can't sense shadows.
Yeah.
But so one other thing is we don't know what stealing somebody during the Age of Legends looked like.
Yeah.
Right. So he could have done it a different way. Right. It could have been done a different way. The water bond did not exist during the Age of Legends. Yeah. So maybe that plays into whatever he did make it seem like the bond severed. Maybe
they treat the one power differently. Yeah.
Right, maybe
she was masking the bond when it happened.
Right.
So maybe that has something to do with it.
That's what I was, or even if she shielded and she decided at this point she wants Lan to go away, so she's gonna mask that bond so he can't feel her, and she actually, you know what I mean? Like there's so many different ways.
But there's no way that if she had been able to channel, there's no way she wouldn't have heated up her bath.
Yeah, that was a great scene.
No way.
Right. So I agree that she cannot channel right now, but like you were saying, we don't really know why. Yeah. We know he did something to her, and now she can't channel. We don't know if it's a tied off thing. We don't know if we don't know. All we know is Lan can't feel her either.
Yeah, there's a conversation about channeling and tied off weaves that we can't have right now.
It's a bit psychosomatic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so we can't have that.
Right. We can't talk about the tied off weave.
Yeah. So we're moving on. We're moving on.
Yeah. So I did just watch the scene though, and it's like the
the weave.
She starts weaving it, and then when she realizes she's not controlling it, she follows, like it's going up the hill, and she like follows it up the hill to Varen. But it's still maybe just happenstance. Like we don't know if that's like a thing.
Well, because so here's the thing too. So it could have been little sparkles for Varen to let Moiraine know that they were here. Like there's so many.
It might not have been a weave that she saw. It could have been like an actual
just a little light. Yeah.
But yeah, so I also, do you guys think one thing that they never talked about was, and it could just be because there was two Aes Sedai there that could heal, at least two Aes Sedai there that could heal, but like they never bring up Emergil's blade being like death
right,
or whatever.
yeah. Right. I said that to Brian out loud. I was like, "Oh no."
I think
like I was
I think it's a different type of blade, because look at how long Moraine lasted before she got to healing.
Yeah, and we do know in the books that not every Emergil has a Thakandar forged blade.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And then with the recovery after getting healed, they're both exhausted.
Right.
They both look like they just got out of the sick
hot mess.
Yeah,
Like,
more so than just like, cuts would have been that only, and the cuts, not that they weren't probably deep, but cuts that were only on them for maybe a minute or two.
Yeah.
It's not like they lost, they were cut for hours and lost so much blood.
Yeah, and they didn't bleed out or anything. Yeah.
So the healing was surfaced wounds at best.
Yeah.
So like the fact that they didn't mention it makes me think that the fact that it wasn't mentioned at all makes me feel like it could still be there, not that it's definitively not. So it's another thing, like, isn't it?
Yeah, we don't know. And it just it doesn't matter.
No,
honestly,
it
really doesn't matter either way.
Yeah.
But I feel like they mentioned it in season 1 when Tam got cut, right? Didn't they bring it up in season 1?
Poison. They said Trolloc poison.
Trolloc poison. Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know if maybe but that could just be the Two Rivers not understanding, how the shit works. Like, blades forged.
I mean, nobody in this story understands how any of it works. That's the great thing about the story.
It's so great.
I do like the unreliable narrator.
Yeah, the unreliable narrator is such a good
it's great.
Right,
I love it. I love it because, like, it almost makes me feel better. Like, I'm smarter than some of these characters, knowing that is not a real thing. But I do feel like, I figured it out. I figured it out before this Aes Sedai did. So.
Yeah. So then we haven't spoken about our other main character, Rand.
I like the haircut, guys.
Yeah, I love shaved head Rand. And the heron marked coat is beautiful. It's a beautiful nod to the coat from the books.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And during their Amazon did a live when like the same day that I did that interview with those people, and like people were screaming in chat how much they loved the coat and wanted the interviewer to bring it up to Davina, and he didn't. So I made sure to bring it up to her, like how excited everybody was about the coat.
Yes. It's so
and then the other person also in this shot is Avanier, Maureen's what's that?
Sorry, guys, give me just a second. I gotta take care of my old dog. Hold on.
Yeah, no problem.
But can we mention anybody related to Moraine?
I don't think
was that revealed in 1 and 2.
But that's in the show. That's in episode 3.
But they don't say who she is.
Yeah,
they don't.
No, it's not.
They don't
it's
make
not
that
until,
connection.
No, it's not until 4.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
See. Yeah,
but
I was gonna say.
Yeah, you can't say it yet. Yeah,
you're good. I'm glad Kathy's here for that. Because like the books I'm good at, but the shows I've watched those episodes over and over again so much, I'm not sure where the cutoff is there.
Well, the only reason I know is because of conversations that I see on social that I'm like, oh yeah, you don't know yet.
Yeah. Also, just to remind everybody, go ahead and if you haven't yet, subscribe over on YouTube. Follow us on Twitch if you're feeling spunky and you want to, give us a subscription on Twitch, which costs money. That's cool. But if not, a follow doesn't cost anything, and it helps us keep building that community so we can get more stuff out to more people. Especially when I've been enjoying gaming, so I want to keep doing that.
I know,
and also share.
Yes,
subscribe and share.
Oh, sorry, I did it again. Also, feel free, if you don't want to go to Twitch to subscribe, you can also hang out on our Patreon, patreon.com/Dragamount. We have a bunch of goodies in there, not just the full interviews that I did with Madeline Madden and Daniel Henney and Kira Coveney and Donal Finn and Marcus Rutherford, but we just uploaded a little bit of an extra part from episode 3's podcast that we did, where we talked about tattoos for like 20 minutes. So that wasn't in the final edit because that was a total random conversation. So if you ever wanted to know about the tattoos of the 3 hosts, check it out on Patreon.
Yeah, we're going to be putting a lot of the, I hesitate to say unedited, but full versions of interviews that, because sometimes we cut them down for length or whatever on YouTube and on the podcasts. So we'll be putting the full versions of our interviews up there. Like she said, she has those so far, but we have a bunch of other interviews that we can go back and add, and these new ones that I currently did.
Yep.
And our future ones.
Who knows?
Hopefully.
Other goodies.
Yeah, and other stuff as well. The one thing. Oh, thanks. What is that?
Follower, yay.
Sandwich.
That's fantastic. It's a great.
Thank you.
Now I'm hungry.
Yeah.
Me too.
Let's see. What else do we have from that we? Oh, well, we see. Yeah. So who said it in chat? IMDb does have her listed as Avenir Damadrid, so they blew it up there.
But no one knows who that is.
That's fair.
Right.
Yeah. We do know Maureen's name in the show, so you could put 2 and 2 together there. But
possibly, but not all the way.
Yeah, we'll let it go for now.
I mean, some people reading the book didn't put it together all the way.
Yeah.
That's fair. The other, so one of the other things I want to point out, going back to the White Tower for a minute, and another character that we haven't spoken about yet, Nynaeve.
Yes. My home girl.
Yeah. So specifically this scene, actually, I want to see what you guys think of this. So we have Leandrin is weaving, I guess, just a leaf blower at her. And she's got her pinned against the wall. It's a bit stronger though.
No, it started as the sword, and then the sword goes forward and is just like shooting it to it.
Yeah. So this in the books, this happens on the boat when they're going to Tarvalon, and it's Swan, and it's Swan training Egwene and Nynaeve, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
And she Leandrin remarks when Nynaeve blows up and pushes her away, that she learned that weave by just seeing it once, and then she shields her, therefore teaching her how to shield people also.
Yep. Yep.
So
on purpose, I'm sure.
Yeah, I wonder if that's going to come back and bite her in the ass. So,
no, I'm sure it'll be fine.
Noman Garden, there was a ton of stuff on the X-ray, not in the trivia department. It was the Wheel of Time is noticeably lacking in the trivia portion of the X-ray, or at least season 2. Season 1 had some stuff, had some interesting stuff. Season 2 pretty much just has bonus content. Oh, wait, it just says bonus content. This season of the Wheel of Time has inside the episode and behind the scenes bonus videos. So like anything that would have been in that is now instead in those videos.
I have a theory. I have a thought.
Okay.
We know that Sarah Nakamura is the one that did those for season 1.
Oh, okay.
She's a writer. I don't know if you know this. There's currently a writer's strike.
So maybe
there you go. That makes sense.
Yeah, I had a meeting with a couple different people and learned kind of what is going on and why they're able to film season 3 right now. And the main thing, so they have a lot of the episodes, the scripts are locked down, but normally the writers are on set. Any strictly writers are not allowed to be on set right now, obviously, because of the strikes. However, if someone is a writer / producer, they're able to be on set as producer until a moment happens when a conversation about the script happens. Then they have to get out and they can't be a part of that conversation.
Interesting. That's a weird dynamic that they have.
Yeah.
But I want to call out this real quick. So pronunciations aren't a big deal. I wanna go off something that George Lucas said for Star Wars, and I know Robert Jordan and Harriet and Maria also didn't really care about pronunciations like in the fandom, but George Lucas, when one of their directors for one of the other movies asked, "How do you pronounce X?" George Lucas said, "However you want to pronounce it. Every character can say it differently because the galaxy's big and accents are different." So like.
Right.
You know, like,
So,
don't worry about pronunciations.
Even Robert Jordan pronounced things differently at book signings that he was asked how to pronounce. Like, it's, you know what we're talking about.
Yeah, he did that on purpose, too, because it shouldn't be that big of a deal.
And any book reader knows there's a good chance that you didn't say it right.
Right?
Mm-hmm. But as far as Star Wars, I will say I understand all that. Still, every time Billy D. Williams said Han instead of Han, just put my back up. I did not like that.
I just laughed. I laughed.
But no, you're right. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't.
It's a big country. There's lots of different accents, and then also some of our friends have speech issues. So let it go.
Let it go.
All right. So one of the other new actors that we see a little bit in episode 1, but more so in episode 2.
Yes. Elias.
Yeah. Fucking sick.
What do the yellow eyes mean? I don't know.
Who could ever guess?
So I will say, I absolutely, every time somebody new popped on screen, I had the captions on anyway, but I would just hit pause so it would tell me who the character and the actor was.
Well, aren't you lucky that you got to watch it without being screeners that had no closed captions, no X-ray,
that was frustrating.
Woe is poor us, Ebony. Feels bad.
And some of them didn't have IMDb pages for the show yet. Like Adelise wasn't listed in the show yet. Yep. Like when we got the screeners, I was like, I don't know who this actor is.
Yeah.
Oh, but to get back to
you'll wonder why I don't volunteer.
Yeah. But to get back to the X-ray real quick, I did remember something. We did have this one cool thing. So like this is from a scene, obviously, with you could see Elias's hair, but it tells us where they are. Like we weren't 100% sure where they were. Aradomin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And something that I posted, or Dragon Map posted, I think was maybe the first people to post on Twitter. I hadn't seen anybody discussing this before we posted it.
I know. It was so exciting.
Let me get the actual scene. So it's the Dark Friend Social has a location as well. And some of us had this theory prior to it being confirmed, but hold on. Tel'aran'rhiod, location unknown.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is interesting. To get back to the beginning of episode 1, now that we're almost done with episode 2, but
no, it's fine. It's fine.
Because I completely forgot about these X-rays, but that was really interesting.
Yeah, I love that. I'm hoping that by the end, I wonder if by the end of the season, if we will have more things listed.
Maybe. Hopefully, if the strike ends.
Yeah. Well, I hope they do because the strike ends in their favor. So.
Yes. Well, it's looking pretty good. And by the way, I'm gonna grab, unless Kathy, you have it handy. I know I have it saved. I think I saved it. I pinned it in one of our conversations, actually, Kathy, for this reason. There are a lot of people hurting right now for the in the entertainment industry because of the strikes. I know it sounds weird to say, like, these actors and actresses are
look, the people that and recognize their names, they're not the ones that this helps.
No, they are not the ones that are hurting right now. So a lot of them, like it was like 88% of them don't make the required $23,000 a year to qualify for health insurance. Yep. So if you're in a financial position to donate anything to the Entertainment Community Fund, which will go to help the SAG, AFTRA, and the WGA writers who are protesting right now, consider doing it.
Yes.
But back to Elias, and one other thing I want to point out. Yes, I'm not sure if it was the Tinker Girl that we saw from the thing.
I think it is.
I'm like 70% sure that was the same one that we saw that got away. Because I'm pretty sure her mom was in the Dark Friend Social, and I'm pretty sure that's why that she was there, was because her mom saved her. And so, yes, I also think that, yes, the little girl was really there, not just a stray thought.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they're all actually there, and they may have, like, they're not dreamers necessarily. They're
right. I mean, he could have pulled them into the dream. He could have absolutely pulled them into the dream physically.
Yeah.
And we know that is a thing, like at least in the book canon, that is a thing that can happen.
Yeah.
You can physically be there, yeah.
Yep. The one thing I want to point out too, in addition to the Elias actor, let me get this picture back up. So we have Elias. He's got those beautiful locks. Yeah. He's got those beautiful locks, but also you can see Perrin is growing his hair out, and you can see he's starting to twist his hair. Yep. Ebony, I'm sure you can attest to more, because I've never had to work with this style hair before, nor any really, because look at my head.
Yeah.
But Sharon and Davina talked about how they really wanted to bring the natural hair of the actors themselves into the characters and into the world of the Wheel of Time. That was very important for them. So I liked seeing that.
Right.
I also learned that like 99% of all of the actors have wigs. That hair of Perrin's is a wig.
Oh wow!
It's a natural like style, like the look of it and whatnot.
It looks great.
But
yeah, let me tell y'all, they have done so much. They've come so far when it comes to wigs. Like it is amazing. I am so thankful for it. Like it's always been part of my culture, and like I'm sticking mostly with braids now. But let me tell you, it is amazing. Tom, we can hook you up. I'm just saying. If you have the need, we can hook you up.
I could probably put some extensions in my beard.
Oh, we can get you a lace front. You won't even know it's not your hair.
Yeah. You'll have people questioning, is it hair or hood?
Yeah. In Celine's case, we know it was hair.
Not until that's a season 4 or episode 4 thing.
Yeah,
well, but I'm still like, we see her in that costume, and she's not wearing a hood in any of these scenes that we see her in.
I know, but it's a
episode
different
1, 2, or 3.
costume.
That's fair. That's fair.
You don't know. You don't know. I mean, we do know, but you don't know.
One person that was noticeably lacking in these episodes so far, and I really hope we're going to still get the cold open I've been dreaming of for Pat and Fane. We get this little clip of when Perrin is seeing the vision of him killing the Tinkers, and he looks a little angry, but that's the only bit of him that we see.
He's at the Dark Friend Social.
Oh, in the Dark Friend Social. Yes. Sorry, because that came out before the season, I'm not associating it in my head, but that's all we see of him. Very little, still lacking. I want to see Johan more.
Yes, please. That's the hard thing about only having 8 episodes is I want more of everybody, and we can't. I mean, Rand is it in season 1 or episode 1 except for that little snippet. Moraine's not in episode 3 at all.
Episode 2 is almost entirely Nynaeve.
Yeah.
It's like 3/4 Nynaeve. And
see, it reminds me so much of the books, though. That reminds me of the books, though, where you would have these long stretches where you're like, what happened to them? I miss them. Like, bring them back in.
And
then you get a chapter of them, and yay!
Yeah. Yep. I'm waiting for that with Pat and Fane, where it's like cold open Pat and Fane, everything he's been up to, including like the stuff he was doing in the background in season 1. Like, I want to see flashbacks of that.
Yeah.
But the Nynaeve, we have her
oh my god.
Yeah, I know. Her scenes in the Terangrio, they were fantastic. The Terangrio looked awesome turning on. Like, it was really cool, and like, the different things in this, and I know a lot of people that are like book purists are going to hate me for this, but I think the show did Nynaeve's accepted test better than the books.
Yes, 100%. 100%.
So like, the think about it like this, and tell me what you guys think, and chat too. Let me know what you think. So the accepted test is supposed to be, here are things that you need to resist to come back to be an Aes Sedai. Like, you have to choose between what you're experiencing and being an Aes Sedai is essentially what that test is supposed to be. The first one she goes into is amazed with Agenor. Of course you want to get out of that. Like, that's not meaningful to her.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I did not like creepy, like club.
Nope.
He's like the creeper at the club. That's what I imagine.
Yes.
Like the old man chasing around the young girls at the club. That's what Agenor reminded me of. But then, like, even the only thing that was meaningful was the one that we got from that was this similar from the books to the show, which was the Two Rivers.
The current one, right?
Yeah. But was still more meaningful and more.
It was
like, because like she, it was either Taryn Ferry or Devon Ride. Like, the wisdom from there came down to be the wisdom.
Yeah.
And they, like, it almost felt like when in the books it was almost like Nynaeve was more mad that she wasn't wisdom as opposed to what was going on. Like, she felt like it felt what I'm trying to think of the word.
In the book,
egotistical.
In the books, it was anger. Yes, in the books, the first two were Nynaeve's anger is why she wanted to stay, because she was mad.
Yes, because they weren't
also,
doing it right.
You want to get away from that. Like, you want to get away from that. So where in this first one that she goes to, she's imagining herself a child again, and we do get that awesome shot for like a half a second when she looks in the water.
She was
Again, they had to take either. Do we know if Nynaeve's hair is all wig too? No, right?
Oh yeah, no, they're all
wig too. Okay,
I'm pretty sure in season 2
Nynaeve has locks, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah, or
Zoe has locks in real life. Yeah.
Oh, in real life, yeah.
In real life, I think Zoe has locks.
Yeah. I think the only person that does not have a wig is Rand.
But I remarked on how like crazy it would have been if they had to like take out all of those individual braids of Nynaeve's hair to like have it all picked out like that, like
it's
all
not,
big
it's
and
not
fluffy.
fun.
No,
I can imagine.
It's not fun.
No, I used to watch my friend's grandmother do it to their little sister all the time, and she had nowhere near as much hair as Zoe or Nynaeve does. But so anyway, so she's getting the chance to correct this thing in her life that is so meaningful to her and like so impactful, something that she harps on her entire life, like wishing she could have done something, and here she has a chance to do something, but instead she has to choose to leave. That's a meaningful test. That is a meaningful test for the Archons.
Yeah,
even
more so than rapey Agenor.
Like, when she comes out, she's like, if I had stayed, would it have changed anything?
Yeah.
Is what she says when she comes out. Like, if I had been able to save them, would it have changed anything?
Yeah, and I think they said, I don't know, right?
Right, they did. They were like, I don't know. We don't know what's going on.
We don't have the
like,
answers.
we just send girls in and hope they come out. We don't know.
Yeah.
And if not, it's fine.
And then the second one was the Two Rivers, and instead of it being just some random wisdom and her mad because she isn't the wisdom, it was the town drunk is probably killing people by accident, and like now you have to leave her.
They're not. Yeah, it was on purpose because they could not heal this fever.
Yeah.
So instead of making them suffer,
So not only is she worried about the town drunk being the wisdom, but she knows that it's possible to heal this disease if she could just channel. So like that's another draw. And then, obviously it's hard and this was the cool part. So like the last thing, Leandrin, maybe, or Sheriam says to Ninety before she goes back in for the third one, is if you're doing this for someone else, or before she takes the test in the first place, if you're doing this for someone else, you will fail. You have to be doing this for yourself, which is pertinent because like the third test is like basically her perfect life, like what she wants.
Yeah.
And
until it's not.
Yeah, but like the first bunch of years, and we don't even know if like she lives all those years, but like and like maybe she does.
Without a doubt,
the way she said it, she said I was in there for years.
I think so too.
Yeah.
But the whatchamacall, like to not want to leave that like makes sense, and like if you that would be something hard to pull yourself away from just because you don't want your friend to feel lonely at school, which is essentially what they think is going on, because they think Rand's dead, they think they killed the Dark One, like they think that the last battle was avoided at this point. They don't know that it's not yet.
Goodness, it's so emotional, all of it. Well, and the Nynaeve holding the baby, running through, and it's not and there.
She knew that baby was going to disappear, right?
Yeah,
she knew that baby was not coming through with her. But she did,
and that's what this is from, by the way.
Right.
See, she's holding. It looks like she's holding her.
Yes, but she also, I think at that point she realized that it probably wasn't real and that baby wasn't coming through with her, but she could not leave that baby there.
No.
Yeah, she couldn't make that choice.
Yeah.
Right. She's like, I'm gonna take her with me, and one way or another it'll end what's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hopper. That's exactly that's literally what this picture is. You could see her like if you like the child
she's still cradling her.
Yeah. So it's a great scene there, and I really like visually what they did with making us have the emotions with what on there. It was really good.
Yeah, absolutely broken. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
Me either, no, the garden. I can't stand them either. So.
Damn kids. What else? So another thing that Rand was doing was hanging out with.
Oh my gosh, I loved.
Errol.
Errol.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
After Errol Flynn is, without a doubt, that is who he's named after.
Yeah.
Blade Master in our world.
Yep.
I loved this whole scene of Rand getting up in the morning, gets the free bread, gives the kids some cash, goes to work, puts on his jacket, very, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, gets to work, and he knows that this guy is going to be freaking out that he's an Aiel. He's going to okay, all right, Errol, it's just me, blah, blah, blah. And just the care that he takes for this man, even though we know that it's not his goal. That's not why he's working there. We know what he's doing, but he goes and he's going to do this. And it's just, oh my gosh.
So what I like so much about this is it's going to give us a good juxtaposition for what happens later. Like this is Rand. This is who he is.
This is who he is.
This is who he is. You need to remember what you're seeing right now.
Yes.
Because stuff is going to get wild. Just remember.
Someone cares. Someone who cares for strangers.
He's a good person. Yes. He is. And it plays
his
so
mama
much
raised
what happens
right.
Right. Yeah. But it plays so much into what we know is going to happen at the end. Yeah. Like it comes full circle. So I like that they put this in here to show us this. Because again, we don't have internal dialogue.
Yeah.
We need to see
exactly.
it.
Yeah.
And there was an interview that he did with someone and was talking about how he got told he had to dial it back. He had to be book 2 Rand, not book 10 Rand. And so this is really showing that layer.
He's got that range. Yeah. I'm glad he has that range because sometimes there's actors that can only do very specific emotions well.
Yeah.
Not so believable on the other end of the spectrum. So far, I'm liking what I'm seeing from him. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, He was still our farm boy at this.
Yes.
With these
He's still a bullhead. He's still a bullhead. Yeah.
The and I love that this is obviously how Rand is going to have a little bit of background in how swordplay works, because this guy was a blade master and he's obviously been doing this for 6 months, maybe. Like, we don't know for sure how long they we hear 5 months and 6 months mentioned, but we do jump around to different characters, so we don't know if the timelines all line up to them.
Well, and too, like, there's travel in place. They have conversations about, or not necessarily conversations about it, but I'm so glad that they did the time jump and had like that weight of time.
Yeah.
Which is something that we never really had in the books. Like, you would suddenly something would happen and you'd be like, oh, it's only been a year and it's been like 6 books later or whatever, and you're like, oh,
right. So
okay.
one book that's 7 days. There's one book that is 7 days, and I'm like, baby Jesus, why? I need y'all to put dates on these pages,
right?
Like, I don't.
Yes,
like, please. I thought, because I know when the books first came out, we thought it was like 5 years, 10 years. That whole series is 2.5 years. I'm like, what?
Yeah,
14
seriously.
Books,
no. Like, Egwene goes from like freaking 15 to 17. That's it. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
But obviously, so this is how Rand is getting some of his training on how to be a blade master. But also a little bit that I like with Errol is the idea that he this shows what someone, only because I've had experience with seeing people like this, what someone who has PTSD from a war looks like, like what that looks like, and it gives it care in a way that isn't like caricaturing it or painting him as crazy.
Yeah.
The villain calls him crazy. The villain calls him a crazy old man. Like the bad orderly that we don't like calls him a crazy old man. So that's I like that. And the sudden sounds and the way Rand is like playing into his thing instead of correcting him. It's all the right things you're supposed to do with people with PTSD like that. And I really like the way they handled it.
Well, and with people that with a memory illness too,
dementia,
not just with that dementia, that level of not.
You don't argue.
This is not just PTSD. Let him live in his world, and you're gonna help him. Yeah,
I did enjoy that. Let's see what else happens in those first couple of episodes that we haven't spoken about. Is there anything else that you guys want to? That we haven't spoken about yet. I know we can't cover everything, but I tried to pick out some of the...
If you would like to hear us talk about everything, feel free to check out the podcasts or the 2 videos per episode that Tom did, or the chapter descriptions that Crystal has done, even though they don't really have commentary. It's more of just like facts. But if you need to figure something out, check it out.
So I did 2 types of videos for those, just for those in chat. One are deep dives, full book spoilers, full TV show spoilers. And then the other ones are the too long, didn't read feelings and thoughts on them. And that is if you haven't read the books and you want to watch and you want to hear like a book expert talk about it, that you can go watch those and you won't get spoiled on any of those.
Without book spoils.
Yep. The too long didn't read is essentially too long didn't read the books, so no book spoilers in those. They're like 5 to 7 minute videos maybe. Yeah. So you should check those out.
The only other thing I want to mention is I do like how they showed the channeling so much more controlled with the Shan-Chan. Yes. Which to me is that is very much, they're not doing it. They're not controlling it. It is very controlled. And I like the way that looks compared to when Aes Sedai are doing it. To me, I think that will help with a better understanding, when they eventually explain what's happening with that. So I like that they're putting it out there already. I still don't know how I feel about the mouthpieces. I understand visually why they're doing it.
Yeah.
I'll tell you. Well, hold on. I think Rafe summed it up perfectly. for how we're supposed to feel about the Shanshan. So here, real quick.
The Shanshan are incredibly dangerous, and we needed people to be fucking terrified of the Shanshan.
I swear to obey, to await, and to serve.
Yup.
Yeah. And so honestly, if I was not a book reader, I don't think it wouldn't be an issue.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So
like anybody who hasn't read the books, I think is fine with it. Just with me, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Okay. So I can confirm that there are leashes for the Damani. There will be leashes. They are not used during the channeling scenes, mainly because of the cost. The cost it would do to like for the editing around it. So like it would have like been their entire budget.
I can imagine.
That. So so the in-world just like whatever I think is because they don't need the leash, because the only people that they take on these trips are the ones that want to help their masters do it.
The fully trained ones.
And then the little mouthpiece and everything is all layered on the same idea of how important the voice and being able to speak is. So you have High Lady Sarath. The only thing you see is her mouth, but she never speaks. The voice, she's so powerful that she can say whatever she wants, but she doesn't have to because she has somebody that is there. And so the people that have no voice, they have no power, they have no true...
And her costume also kind of built around the mouth also.
Yeah. It's again about the mouth. They're not a human. They're not, that humanity around her face doesn't matter. Like it's just what can you say? And then the people carrying the palanquin too also had the same like binky thing, just not in gold because they're not as special.
Yeah, basically
this idea that you don't speak.
Yeah, basically like, you know, they are like they're so worthless that they don't even get to speak is the idea.
Yeah, they're livestock. They're animals as far as they're concerned.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Which is like really it's framing us to both hate and fear the Shanshan simultaneously. But and I said we would save the worst for last. We have to talk about
do not show the photo.
I'm not going to show it.
Okay.
I won't show it.
Do not show the photo. We all know what it is.
Yes, I won't show the photo. I won't scar everybody for life with that, but I did make a GIF that I will post later.
Under a trigger warning.
Well, no, not the bloody one. Just the
Okay, but still under a trigger warning.
That's fair. Yes.
Yeah, that whole thing.
The I'm sad mostly because we're not going to get to see Guy Roberts anymore.
Yeah. It was so meaningful that his wife is the one that put him to death, though. Like that's pretty great.
Yeah. I mean, I get it.
Yeah. Right. So I'm sorry. I learned that the reason that she's the voice is because they hadn't hired her yet, and she was there as Guy Roberts' wife, hanging out. She's an actor as well, but she was there at table reads, and they're like, "Here, can you read this?" She went it like a couple at like reads later, and they're like, we're just gonna hire her, right? Like that's why we're gonna hire her.
It's fantastic. So the only thing I want to say about the Shanshan is the reason why I'm perfectly okay with them being framed as completely evil is because they are, even in the books.
Yeah.
The fact that people romanticize them a little bit is a little disconcerting to me because their entire syllabization is built around slavery.
Yeah.
There's no redeeming factors to it whatsoever.
Yeah.
Like you may like some of those characters, but if they keep slaves in the way that they keep them in the books, they're bad.
Yes. Like
Period.
slavery
End
is
of story.
not a good thing. I mean,
not a fan.
Yeah.
I like this is a conversation way in the books, but a Shanshan character has many conversations with another main character about slavery and stuff. And you can see that the society and the world that they have built does not, like, if you are a slave, you are not a person. You are not a human. You don't matter. You don't matter. Sorry, I saw this. That her character is named, but it's not who I think it was. I thought it was Aegean. Yeah. And I think it might still be. But
I'll let you know in a sec. I'm gonna pull it up.
Well, because her character has a name on somewhere and listed somewhere, but it's not that character. So I don't know if it's a fake out or what. I don't know. But
well, there was also further in the book, there's another Shan-Chan who was actually described as being black that interacts with Parent. So
yeah, so that could be. I didn't recognize the name. I don't know if they would be
bringing her in.
Yeah, I don't know.
The thing about I start a couple of things because I wanted to. Yep. People made some good points. So Arosa, I think something that a lot of people don't realize is the Wheel of Time already has that level of horror in it.
Yeah.
It's just not brought to the forefront as much. And in season 2 so far, I think Rafe is doing a wonderful job with that in the sense of the Myrddraal, the Shan-Chan, the Forsaken, Ishamael's willingness to just use a child the way he did and and maybe turn her into a freaking Dark Friend assassin. I think that would be awesome. Yeah. I mean, horrible, but also awesome.
It's there in the books, but it's so much more subtle. And I think I was shocked. Mm-hmm. I never, for so many reasons, thought that was coming. I think I audibly was like, when it happened, because I didn't think we were going to see something like that on the show.
Yeah. And the another thing that I think that they're doing a better job with in the show is the Myrddraal. The Myrddraal seem
so much more scary.
Yeah, and not just their look, but like when they were, it's not like, yes, don't get me wrong, very frightening, but the way they were using the stepping in and out of the shadows,
that
fight, like
because even
trying to bite.
Oh yeah,
trying to bite. I was like, what is that?
I'm trying to remember, but in the books, they talk about the shadows, but not in fighting, really just in travel, just coming out of nowhere. Yeah, I thought of course the Fades are freaking gonna use the shadows, of course.
Yeah. The only time you really ever see Fades doing that in the book is when they're sneaking up on characters during a meeting or something like that. It happens to Jaichi and Carradine a lot. Later in the book.
He would disappear. The dude would disappear.
Yes. But I don't think, I hesitate to say that they never use it in fighting, on screen in the books, but I can't recall a single time they've done it.
Yeah, I can't recall.
So I feel like all the times that they were fighting, not all the times, but lots of times it was on horseback. It wasn't like they snuck up on somebody. With Land, it was they were out in a field. There might have been a couple times in a building,
the Inn in Barillon in book 1, I think maybe, but not even then.
That wasn't fighting. That was him just leaving.
Yeah.
Right. He just left that way because Land comes up the steps. Right. They start going up, and the Myrddraal just leaves. He doesn't stay there to fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the way they did it in the show here, terrifying.
Oh
could you
absolutely imagine? Terrifying. Yes. Absolutely terrifying.
Soon as the Myrddraal have to go fight people that think they don't exist.
Yeah.
Boy, that's
not going to be a fight. That is not a fight. That is a
just a run.
Yeah. When they get down to Tyr and Ilion, where people think Myrddraal and Trollocs are bedtime stories.
Oh yeah.
Easy. Boy. But I'm going to leave on one slightly higher note, a fun picture. Is anyone surprised that Alana had a hookah bar in her room?
Oh no, Anybody? Of course not. Okay.
Not at all.
But also, can we talk about how flipping sexy that moment where she hands the cup to Sheriam and then does that little crawl backwards, crosses her legs and holds out her hand, and Ivan gets her that glass? Oh my God, that was so good.
Yeah,
so good.
It was fantastic. Alana's whole thing with Maxim and Ivan, and obviously the thruple scene in
Oh my gosh,
the White
Poor
Tower.
Egwene. Poor Egwene. Never in life.
Yeah.
I know. I love.
She's just like, oh God.
I love that they had the ability to make the Two Rivers folk still have that
Blush.
level of naivety without,
Yeah.
like, they're not virgins, and that's fine. They know what sex is, but they're not surprised for this. I saw on Twitter someone was like making a joke of Egwene telling Elaine, you know, what happened, and Elaine going, so do I have to knock? Is there a timing? How does this happen?
Do you need time to get dressed when she knocks on the door?
Yes. So good. So good.
That was so great. There's such a great level of comedy, drama, romance, action, horror, suspense, thriller, like whodunit. The Wheel of Time has every genre in it, and I've been trying to tell people that for years. Even post-apocalyptic future Earth science fiction fantasy.
Right.
So
yeah, it's so good.
Yeah.
So good.
So yes.
Say,
Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say this also makes me feel very confident that a lot of issues people had with season 1 were really COVID production related. It wasn't the talent. It wasn't the writing. It was plague times, y'all. We're lucky we got anything.
They had to make so many changes because of everything.
Yes, and I know there were a lot of people that were just like, this is trash. Like, is it though? Everything was trash for a couple of years there, right? Yeah. We were trash. Like, it was all garbage.
I'm still trash.
But these first 3 episodes are like, okay, good. Yeah. I am. Any anxiety I had is now gone, right?
Yeah.
Like, all right.
15 minutes into that first episode, I was like, never mind.
Yeah.
We're good.
I am so glad that they did the 3-episode thing again.
Yes.
Able to have that second episode be very much Return of the Jedi, or not Return. I'm so sorry. Please don't take my nerd card. So much.
One check mark. One check mark.
Sorry. Empire Strikes Back of, you know, a little bit more plot, a little bit more like feeding through, and then that hit at the end of, okay, now we need to go to episode 3. Now we need to like find out what's going on. I think that's like so well done, able to tell this story at a little bit more of a slow pace, and then we're on a roller coaster and we're going full bore.
They have a great showrunner there putting these episodes together.
Yeah. And anyone that wants to say otherwise can come and fight me.
True story, man. I mean, Rafe, there's a lot of heart behind Rafe's involvement in this show, but not limited. Oh, go ahead.
And everyone else too,
not
just
else,
Rafe.
Yeah.
Like the passion for the show. You talk to anybody involved at all, anyone from any, like the lowest Amazon person with Wheel of Time to anyone, they feel the passion between this audience. There's a reason that it's statistically the best, but everyone that is doing something for this cares so much about the show and what they are creating and what they are crafting that it just is tangible, and they're doing an incredible job. We get to be here.
Very lucky.
Yeah, I'm just. The only bit I want to add on to that is being able to be here and experience the Wheel of Time again, like we are. We didn't mention Matt and Min much at all.
Oh yeah,
right.
But before we go, I want to bring it up in the sense of, like, not to pick it apart or anything. For me personally, I can't figure out what they're doing with them, and I love that. Yeah. I love it.
Yeah.
Like, I love it. Like, I love being able to, like, I'm sitting here, I'm confused, I'm excited, I'm enjoying it, I like the characters, and it's the Wheel of Time. We never thought that was going to happen again.
Well, and two, they had to make something up because Matt was in Harbor One. They had to be like, okay, how are we going to make this happen? What are we going to do? How are we going to get them back together into the places that they need to go? Let's have it be a buddy cop mystery. Let's have Min and Matt hang out. You know, break out of prison.
Kathy, you want to tell that story from when we talked to Rafe?
Yeah. So I, way back in the day, for anyone that doesn't know, I feel like I've told this story so many times recently, but I know that there's people that haven't heard it. So years ago, when Winter's Heart came out, I was at a book signing with Robert Jordan, waited in line, asked a question. I asked, what happens if you open a gateway in front of you with the exit behind you? Can you bail fire yourself? Robert Jordan looked at me and said, young lady, you need to go have an affair with a man, woman, or German Shepherd. Either way, you need to get a life.
I posted a link to an article that talks about it in chat.
Amazing. So when we spoke with Rafe, I kind of said, hey, you probably have heard this story. That's me, and I would love it if we could get a cameo of myself with a German Shepherd just in the back. Doesn't need to be, it's not a big deal. Like, just have me hanging out with a German Shepherd, be a little hat tip for the people, if you know, you know. And he loved it. So who knows? Something might happen in the future. I hope. Fingers crossed. That would be freaking amazing. And I would, oh my gosh, I would die.
Yeah. And you also threw me under the bus too.
Yes.
Because you mentioned me having the character in the last book, and then Rafe said, maybe we can get you guys to do a cameo, and I was like,
yeah, it's fine. Everything's fine. So who knows? Obviously, many things involved, but we'll let you know.
I do want to point one more thing out, but I'm not going to highlight it because I don't want to highlight negativity. But if anyone has anything to say about the show and the story that's going on it, I would like to point you to the 12-hour marathon that we did. And when Harriet McDougal, Robert Jordan's wife, and Maria Simmons both joined and expressed their love and adoration and interest in the show. So you're wrong.
Changed. It's okay. It's okay to be frustrated. It's not okay to be like angry
toxic
and aggressive and toxic. Yeah.
You cannot like something while still being respectful of the work that goes into producing the thing and the people who do enjoy it.
Yes, and the people that produce it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but also you don't have to say anything. Just don't watch it. Like,
I mean,
not
also an option.
but did we ask?
I mean,
did we?
I love having conversations with people that are like constructive.
They can debate.
Yeah.
A debate. Yes,
Yep.
but
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah.
If it's just that you don't like it and you don't, because it's not the book, dude, it's not.
However, thank you for your engagement.
Yes. Yeah, it helps the algorithm. Every interaction helps the algorithm. Speaking of helping the algorithm, I'm going to post a picture that's going to help us of our guest for next week.
Okay, I was going to say, please not.
No.
Yay!
Grade Kangas beef right there. Kevin Angus, the Trolloc nipple man himself. Is going to be coming, hanging out with us, and we'll be discussing. I'm going to try to make a montage of every Trolloc nipple we've seen so far for him.
Lucky. You better throw in a land nipple too, just because.
Oh yeah, I'm just going to get all the nipples we've seen so far. There's ranch nipples, land nipples, Trolloc nipples. Some of them are hairy, some of them aren't.
I love it. All the nipples.
Yeah, free the nipples. And again, make sure to go and like, subscribe, follow us on Twitch, all the things, YouTube, the social medias, share it around, comment, let us know what you want to see next, what you want us to talk about. Yay! And you can see over here my felt form. I've had to take a step back from streaming as much as I have been because I had to pick up some extra work on the side, but I do occasionally go and hang out with my felt brothers from other mothers on the Leafcast. Thank you, brother Dan. He is one of my felt brothers there, and my felt form hanging out with me in the background over there. They do a first time reader show on Tuesdays, and they just finished Crown of Swords, and I don't remember what the next book is. No, what's the book after Crown of Swords? Lord of Chaos?
Sure.
Path of Daggers.
Path of Daggers. So they just
only know
finished
because it's on the shelf behind me.
Yeah.
I was looking at it too, Ebony.
They just finished Crown of Swords. They're like, a handful of chapters into Path of Daggers. First time reader Josh is a great person. Brother Dan, Ryan, Kay, Sadai, ton of fun people. And then on Sundays they do their Tavern Talk, which is full spoilers. So their first time reader show, spoilers only up to their current chapter, and then Tavern Talk has different topics, but mostly full book spoilers.
And check out, we will of course have new podcast episodes and videos for each episode of the show, and we can't wait to hear what you think and stuff.
All right, thank you for hanging out with us here on Dragon Mount, the slopes of Dragon Mount, where it's frigid and cold and the snow is bloody,
spicy hot.
Yeah, and spicy hot. It's all Ebony and you and Crystal though. I'm not at all. Just my shirt.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what's that on your shirt? Yeah, it's all good.
Relax.
Yeah, relax.
Yes,
right.
sir, Taylor, sir.
Yeah, I mean, I could just that, and then
Dana's coming.
I can watch both of them. All right, and we'll leave with that. Peace.
Bye.